Yes, I'm back and still in my pajamas. You know why? Because I ran out of time. I ran out of time with my last video, so we're doing it again. I got another cup of coffee, and let's go for true ghost stories. Hello, hello, my spooky friends and weirdos. Y'all know, I don't mean anything offensive by that. If you're new to this channel, I'm Silky, and that really comes from my other channel, but I am so glad that you're here because otherwise I would just be talking to Scully. He's not much of a conversationalist, but he has quite the opinions, let me tell you. Uh, so let's go ahead and enjoy the rest of these stories. This video might be a little bit shorter, I don't know. Depends on how much yapping I do. My girlfriend lost her husband of 45 years this summer. They were very close. On the anniversary of their wedding, she asked him for a sign. She asked for yellow roses. That day, she had a lunch with a new lady friend of hers. The new friend brought her a yellow rose, not knowing anything about the wish my friend wanted. What was the chance of that happening? Believe. They hear us. Believe. Wow, that is like, because a yellow rose is, and why do you give a rose to a new friend? Like, I mean, it could happen, but I kind of think she got that, kind of premonition, a feeling. You ever just get a feeling you should do something and you don't know why? Like, I think this woman just got a feeling, I'm going to bring her a yellow rose today. And I'm sorry, guys. Women are more sensitive to these things. But just FYI, we all like flowers. Yeah. So, if you want to just bring one, that would be perfectly okay. I lost my mom 12/19/22 and my dad 10 days later on 12/29/22. Oh my goodness. Bless your heart. It was horrible and a very sad time in my life. I begged them one night to turn on and off my light to let me know they were okay, but nothing. When I stopped crying, I went to the kitchen and opened the refrigerator, and the lights inside turned on and off twice. I didn't think anything of it until the light in my kitchen did the same thing, and it hasn't happened since. Wow, so I guess one off and on for mom and one off and on for dad. Well, at least you know that they're both okay, because, like, if you only had one light, yeah, that would be a little spooky. I think that is the sweetest story. Do you think that we can, turn lights off and on when we pass? Because I am going to do that with my kids. Yeah. Especially in the refrigerator. Because I think that would be the funniest place to do it. I mean, you got to get the scare tactics down. Like, be thinking about this before you pass, okay? Have a plan. Who you going to haunt and how are you going to do it? Try to implement some of that. Can't remember the story exactly, but when my mom's paternal grandmother was going to pass away, or a few years before, there was something said about leaving dimes for my mom. When my cousin passed away, we were on our way to her town for my mom to help my aunt. We stopped at a gas station or truck stop to use the restroom, and while I was in there, I said to myself, if I find a coin, I know she's okay now. She had struggled with illegal substances. I found a nickel in a payphone coin return thing. That's the only time I've in a sense asked for a sign. Aw, wow. So I hear this a lot about people leaving pennies or finding pennies and, money on the floor. That's been in several stories, and then I've heard people personally say that they know when they see a penny or whatever, their loved one is close by. Some people see feathers. I don't know. I'm asking my relatives that have passed for something bigger than a penny, but I mean, if you can just produce something, And I don't know, where do they get this money? Are they taking it out of your purse and then just flicking it on the floor? Or, does it materialize? Maybe that's why there's not bigger bills. But don't mess with the debit card, okay? We don't want to be losing that. All right, let's go on. My mom and my youngest daughter were really close, thick as thieves. After my mom died from stage 4 lung, bone, and pancreatic cancer, oh my gosh, that's a lot. I heard her voice clear as day one time walking back from the store with my youngest daughter. She was being a bit bold and hard to keep under control at the store. While walking home, I was saying things to my daughter about how bold and ridiculous she behaved, and I heard my mom's voice say, "Don't talk to her like that," scolding me. There was literally nobody around, and it was definitely her voice. I knew then that my mom's spirit was still around. She was exactly as she was in life, very defensive of and protective of her last and favorite grandchild. "Mom, don't tell me what to do. Like, you're gone." I could see my mom doing that. As a matter of fact, I could see me doing that with my kids. I do not have grandkids, but I could still see me going into my daughter's room and saying, "You're not wearing that, are you?" What would you say? What would be the most common thing that you would say to your kids if you pass away and you're able to say, like, what would you say? I hope if I pass that I get the opportunity to scare them. This place we live at now, I was getting ready for work in the bathroom. Something grabbed me by the waistline. I ran so fast out. Then I saw a dark shadow walking through my kitchen. You know, probably everybody has seen a shadow person. Like sometimes, you see stuff out of the corner of your eyes and maybe it's nothing, but a lot of people have seen something weird. But grabbing me by my waist, that is not okay. That is assault, Mr. Ghost, and you can just keep your hands off of me. Okay? I think there was a ghost sheriff in one of these stories, a couple videos back. "I'm calling him on you." No. So the lady who had a trailer in this plot froze to death. Aw, because she couldn't afford oil. Oh God, that is so horrible. My cat, R.I.P. Moon Boots. What a cute name for a cat, Moon Boots. Used to freak out and not want to stay here for days. Just come in to eat and leave. Sounds like my ex-husband. I used to say out loud, "Whoever is here, I would like you to leave. You are unwelcome." And 5 minutes later, the cat would come back and everything would be normal. I just had surgery and had to lay down in my bedroom. The whole place was warm, and I go into my bedroom and it's frigid, ice cold. The heater is aimed into the room. I said, "Listen, I know this was your place, but it's mine now, and I need my bedroom. I would like you to leave. Now is not the time to mess with me. I'm in a lot of pain." Walked out to get something, came back in a minute, and the room was warm again. Yeah, like, look, don't be harassing the living with your cold presence, okay? Especially when they're sick. That's just not nice. Maybe show up when it's 90 degrees outside and you need a little cold air, okay? But I do feel bad for what happened to the woman. That's terrible. And why would you want to come back to a place like that? Are you stuck here or why? Because I would be getting to Key West, somewhere where it's really hot. But that's just me. My grandmother had to tell my deceased grandfather to stop playing pranks on her. Oh my gosh. Literally move stuff around. That's another few stories. I mean, a little pranking is okay, but we got our limits, okay? Don't move the car keys when I've got an appointment. Boundaries. I say this all the time. These ghosts need to have some boundaries. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I have a remarkable story to share about a spirit who was my childhood friend, which truly demonstrates that our loved ones never truly leave us. On March 8th, 1987, a tragic accident occurred involving an RM RCMP officer named Constable Emmanuel Aucoin. Aucoin, I hope I'm saying this right, y'all. He was found unalive in his police car, just a short distance from his home. Constable Aucoin had pulled over a man named Anthony Romeo for speeding, unaware that Romeo was fleeing from a crime he had just committed in New York. As Constable Aucoin returned to his police car to write Romeo a ticket, Romeo took advantage of the situation. He swiftly exited his vehicle, opened the trunk, retrieved a weapon, and approached the driver's side of the window of Constable Aucoin's car, shooting him. Oh my God. This devastating unaliving left a lasting impact on our small community, and people still talk about it to this day. Fast forward 13 years later, in the year 2000, I was born, completely oblivious to the tragic events that had taken place. In 2007, my family moved to a home which happened to be one of the houses where Constable Emmanuel Aucoin and his family once lived. During the first few months to a year of living in this house, my parents would often hear me talking to someone in my room. Curious, they would ask me who I was conversing with, and I would simply reply, Manny. My parents didn't think much of it, assuming I had an imaginary friend like many young children do. One day, while my mom was working from home, she overheard me talking upstairs again. She decided to inquire about my conversation partner, and once again, I mentioned Manny. My mom sat there, deep in thought, and then suddenly a chill ran through her body. She asked me what Manny looked like, and I described him perfectly. He wore a blue shirt, had a mustache, and a badge. My mom's heart nearly stopped. That was exactly how Manny looked, and it matched his uniform precisely. I had never been told about Constable Emmanuel Aucoin, nor would I have known what he looked like. To this day, I can vividly recall his image, him leaning down to play with me, and even the feeling of his forehead kisses after my parents left the room. I was never afraid of him. He always made me feel safe. As it turns out, Constable Aucoin had a daughter who was 7 years old, just 1 year older than me at the time of his tragic passing away. They said that children are more receptive to spirits because they don't perceive them as something scary, as they have yet to fully understand fear. Manny will forever hold a special place in my heart, and he is someone I think of so often. He will always be remembered with love. Wow, that is an incredible story. And I love that it has the names of the actual people and where this happened, so you can kind of look it up and verify it. I believe that because of the places I get these ghost stories, I believe that they're true. I mean, people could make something up, but most of them sound very believable. So I hope you enjoyed that. That is it for today. And if you have a ghost story that you want to share, you can email me at email me at avelincottage@gmail.com. Or you can go to my Facebook page, which is brand new. There's not hardly anything on it, but it's Avalon Cottage also. So I would love to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you later. In the meantime, watch out for coin throwing ghosts and stay spooky, okay? Bye-bye.